Dimple and welcome to Scholar's Mentor. In today's video, we will be solving questions of teaching and research aptitude. That is paper 1 questions that appeared in the UGC NET December 2025 exam in home science paper. This is going to be a two-part video. In this video, we will deal with the first 5 units of teaching and research aptitude paper, and in the next video, we will talk about the next 5 chapters. So in today's video, we will solve the questions on teaching aptitude, comprehension, communication, and mathematical reasoning and aptitude that appeared in this particular paper. You must be wondering that I did not mention Unit 2, that is research aptitude. But hey, we solved those questions in the previous video. If you haven't seen that yet, you'll find the link to that video in the description below. So let's find out what kind of questions appeared from these 4 chapters in the December 2025 home science paper of UGC NET. So as I mentioned in the previous video, I want you to sit down with a pen and paper, read each question and the 4 options along with me, pause the video, solve the questions by yourself, and then play the video again to see if your answer is the correct answer or not. If unfortunately your answer turns out to be incorrect, do not worry. Follow the little tips and tricks that I share with you so that you can get your right answers today and even on the day of the exam. So let me begin by sharing my screen. I hope you can see the screen. For this video, we will go unit-wise. So starting with the first unit, which is the teaching aptitude. So the first question is, which of the following are the 4 social and emotional skills and competencies of self-regulation that are listed under collaborative for academic, social, and emotional learning? Self-management, self-awareness, relationship skills, social awareness, responsible decision-making. Option 1 is CBE, option 2 is ABCDE, option 3 is AD, option 4 is BCE. This is a very direct concept-based question. Out of the 5 statements that are given here, from self-management to responsible decision-making, if you're very thorough with this concept, you can figure out easily what the correct answer is. In case you're not very sure of the actual answer, think of it this way. Which of these 5 skills and competencies can be part of academic, social, and emotional learning? I hope you have chosen your answer now, and let's see what the correct answer is. So the correct answer is option 2, that is A, B, C, D, and E, all the 5. So if you were not able to figure out the correct answer, I want you to go back and learn more about social and emotional learning, or even the concept of castle. I have also provided a short snippet on the screen for better understanding. The next question is, the Swayam Prabha Channel 05 with the theme of Information, Communication and Management Studies is named as what? Is it Sanskriti, Saraswat, Prabandhan, or Prabodh? Okay, so what is the term that could be associated with a channel on Information, Communication and Management Studies? The correct answer is Prabandhan. The next question is, which of the following are the prominent features of self-directed learning? Passive learning, extension of learning, taking ownership of learning, teacher-centered learning, or self-monitoring. The 4 options are ADE, BD, BCE, and AE. Okay, which of these 5 features could be part of self-directed learning? Think of what self-directed learning is, and then try to figure out what the correct answer could be. Yes, the correct answer is BCE. Okay, self-directed learning can also be thought of as student-centered learning. Okay, so the main initiative for learning here is from the side of the student and not from the end of the teacher, right? So that is self-directed learning. So in self-directed learning, there is no passive learning, there is active learning. The student wants to learn by themselves. So there is extension of learning, there is taking ownership of learning, and of course, the statement B, it's not teacher-centered learning, it should have been student-centered learning. That's why you don't see the statement B in the correct answer. And finally, it follows with self-monitoring. The next question is, during a live online math tutorial, a teacher wants to demonstrate problem-solving techniques and equations visually. Which software or tool would best support this instructional method? Is it Adobe Illustrator? Is it Camtasia? Is it Jamboard? Or is it Kahoot? This is where your current knowledge comes into being. You have to make yourself aware of what all new teaching learning methods are there in the market, what these popular methods are used for. What is Adobe Illustrator used for? What is Camtasia used for? What is Jamboard used for? And what is Kahoot used for? The keywords here in the question are live online math tutorial and problem solving techniques and equations visually. Okay, I hope you have chosen the answer. The correct answer, of course, is Jamboard, which is also Google Jamboard. It's a cloud-based collaborative digital whiteboard. It's like a blackboard in the class, but digitally, so it's called whiteboard. It's used for remote teamwork. Somebody can write on the whiteboard, move on to different screens. It can be used to sketch ideas, arrange sticky notes, and build visual presentations. Okay. Just for better understanding, I have also given explanations for the other three options so that you're aware of what all options are available in the market. Moving on to the third unit, which is comprehension. So we finished the second unit, which was research aptitude in the previous video, where we dealt with research-based questions from both paper 1 and paper 2. You'll find the link to that video in the description below. Alright, so for comprehension, I will read out the entire comprehension one. And then we'll also see the 5 question and answers. And wherever possible, I have also highlighted the statements in the passage where you can draw the correct answer from. Okay, so you can see the first question on the right side of the screen, but we'll just quickly run through the entire passage. Before delving into the roles that missionary schools played in the emergence of Indian nationalism, it is necessary to understand the broader context in which Christian missionaries had been religious actors in the Indian subcontinent since the 1700s. With the rise of British power under the East India Company and later the Crown, missionaries of various denominations made India one of their largest areas of activity. This was especially true after the amendment of the company's charter in 1813, which allowed missionaries unhindered access to the company's domain. But it was through their involvement in new forms of education that the missionaries made a significant and perhaps the most lasting impact. Many educational missionaries initially saw Western learning and knowledge as a stepping stone to spread Christianity. By the 1870s, however, this approach to the conversion of India's Brahmins and other high castes had largely fallen out of favor. By then, the most active Anglican missionary societies, the Church Missionary Society CMS, the London Missionary Society LMS, the Society for the Propagation of the Gospel SPG, and the Cambridge Mission to Delhi CMD, were mostly involved in teaching in high schools and colleges across North India. In the United Provinces, India's most populous province, these societies ran half of the high schools and colleges. American missionary societies, by contrast, worked overwhelmingly with the lower caste communities and were far less involved in higher levels of education. Anglican mission schools, therefore, interacted with the very groups and communities who would go on to lead the Indian nationalist movement. Alright, so that was the whole passage. The first question, based on the passage you can see on the right side of the screen, which of the following societies was involved in teaching in high schools and colleges in North India? Is it American Missionary Society, European Missionary Society, Anglican Missionary Society, or Central Indian Missionary Society? Look for the keyword teaching in high schools and colleges in North India, okay, in the passage, and you will have your answer right there. Okay, yes. So the correct answer is Anglican Missionary Society, which is a broader term for all of these missionary societies given in the passage. I've also highlighted it here. The next question based on the passage is educational missionaries initially find Western learning as what? A way to spread business, a way to improve community health, a way to have a political control, a way to spread Christianity. In the passage, look for educational missionaries within quotation as given in the question. You find the answer right there. Okay, so the correct answer is option 4, a way to spread Christianity. The next question is, when did Christian missionaries start their activities in the Indian subcontinent? Is it 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, or 1900s? This is in fact a very, very easy question. The correct answer is 1700s. Next question based on the passage is which of the following was not an active Anglican missionary society? The Church Missionary Society CMS, the London Missionary Society LMS, the Society for the Propagation of the Gospel SPG, or American Missionary Society. So from the question, you should have understood that three are part of the Anglican Missionary Society and one is not. So the idea here is to find out which one is not. Yes, the correct answer is American Missionary Society because the other three are part of the Anglican Missionary Society. The next question on the passage, which of the following predominantly work with lower caste communities in India? The Church Missionary Society CMS, the American Missionary Society AMS, the London Missionary Society LMS, or the Society for the Propagation of the Gospel SPG. Look for the keyword lower caste communities in India in the passage and you'll find the answer right there. Yes, the correct answer is American Missionary Society AMS. Okay, so with that we finished the questions based on comprehension. So I hope you have understood how you can pick and choose the right answer from the passage directly itself. The next unit is communication. So the first question in communication is, in mediated communication, audience attention is considered as a human liability, scarce resource, visibility product, or regulated liability. Okay, think about it as what you would consider your audience's attention in a mediated communication. Is audience a liability or a resource or a product in a mediated communication? And once you solve that bit of the question, you will have the answer right there with you. So the correct answer is scarce resource. In mediated communication, audience is scarce resource because you want their attention, their cognitive capacity, and time are strictly finite, right? You want their attention on your communication. The next question is, the interactive society is characterized by the following: non-electronic communication, network integration, multimedia, digitization, uncultured media environment. The four options are ABC, BCB, CBE, and ABE. Okay, so there are five characteristics given here, and you can see from the options that only three are to be correct and two are to be wrong. And once you find out even one characteristic that is not part of the interactive society, you can start ruling out the options. So I hope you have chosen your answer. The correct answer, of course, is BCT. Okay. So interactive society is characterized by network integration, multimedia, digitization from the question. Okay. So I want you to go back and read more about interactive society. It is characterized by two-way communication, decentralization, digitization, multimedia integration, network integration, and global reach. The next question on communication is, which of the following can be categorized under electronically based communication? Typographic, audiovisual, computer mediated, personal conversation, cylinder press. And the four options are ABC, BCB, CBE, ABE. It's a very similar formatting of the question as the previous one. You have five features based on a particular concept, and out of which three are correct and two are wrong. Start ruling out options from the five so that you can arrive at the right answer. And the correct answer, of course, is ABC, right? Electronically based communication could be typographic, audiovisual, computer mediated. Okay, a personal conversation and cylinder press need not have electronically based communication, right? So the next question in communication is match the following, where you have to match the term with the description. The terms are natural sign, artificial sign, signal, and symbol. And the descriptions are less certainty if response in artificial sign, those things that are represented in nature, those that are constructed in the social world, artificial signs that produce predictable responses. So for all the kind of match the following questions, not just this one alone. If you know the concept, if you know what these terms mean and what their descriptions are, go ahead straight away and match and choose your correct answer. And in case you're not very sure about the concept, you're not 100% confident of what the right answer is, then use the options given to pick your correct answer. Okay? Look at the four options given here. A can be represented by 2, 3, 4, 1. B can be represented by 3, 4, 1, 2. C can be represented by 4, 1, 2, 3, and D can be represented by 1, 2, 3, 4. So here the options are not helping you in any way, right? So if you think about it, all the four options are represented by four different descriptions for the term. Even if you can match one term with the description, you will have the right answer, because in all the four options, all the four terms are being represented by four different descriptions. So even if you know one of them, you will have the answer with you. And of course, the correct answer is option 1, right? So the most easiest, if you didn't know what the correct answer was, the most easiest math that you could have done on logic was natural science could have been connected to those things that are represented in nature. So you could have matched natural with nature. And once you make A into a combination, the other four, the other three terms can be naturally matched with their description. And hence option 1 becomes the correct answer. In all the maths questions, either match it if you know the actual answer directly. If not, use the options in your favor. Now we will focus on questions based on Unit 5, Mathematical Reasoning and Aptitude, which will be the last unit for this video. The next 5 units, that is Unit 6 to 10, will be dealt in the next video. So the first question on mathematical reasoning is, an overestimated prediction about the probability of an event based on frequency of the event's past occurrences is known as hindsight bias, availability heuristic, representativeness heuristic, or divergent thinking. Okay, so this is a very direct question. One of these terms is being explained in the question. If you know the correct answer, you should have chosen one by now. If you don't know what the correct answer is, do not worry. Just go back and read what these four terms mean. Okay, so yes, the correct answer is availability heuristic. I have also given an explanation of the other three options just for you to know what they mean. The next question on mathematical reasoning is, for aiming a target, a person gets 1 rupee each time when he hits it and loses 1 rupee when he misses it. If he gets rupees 40 after aiming at the target 100 times, then how many times did he miss the target? Is it 30, 40, 60 or 70? I want you to pause the video, solve it yourself, and then play the video again, where I will not just tell you what the correct answer is, but I will show you by solving step by step how we arrived at the correct answer and how to use the question. Okay, so while aiming a target, one person will get 1 rupee every time he hits the target. He will lose 1 rupee when he misses the target, and he has attempted it 100 times. Okay, finally he is getting 40 rupees. How many times did he miss the target is what the question asks us to solve. So let's see step by step how we arrive at the correct answer. For all the math kind of questions, I want you to first put down the equation based on what is given in the question. So for this question, hits target plus 1x, misses target minus 1. And x and y represent the number of times. So he hits the target, which is x times, and misses the target y times. So here we have to ultimately find out what y is. So 1x plus minus 1y will give you 40, because he finally won 40 rupees. I hope you have understood how we got this first equation in the green. Plus 1x plus minus 1y is equal to 40. And x plus y, that is number of times of hitting the target and missing the target together, is 100. Our aim is to find y, which could also be treated as 100 minus x, because he's hitting the target 100 times. If you missed it a certain number of times, the other time he hits the target. So in the main equation, that is in the first equation, you have to substitute y as 100 minus x. And once you do that, that is plus 1x plus minus 1 into 100 minus x, which is equal to 40. And once you ultimately solve this part of the equation, you will get x as 70. Okay? Now note that x is the number of times hitting the target. So he hits the target 70 times. And from this part of the equation, y is equal to 100 minus x, we got 100 minus 70 is equal to 30. Okay, so I hope you understood how option 1, 30 becomes the correct answer. If not, you can just rewind the video slightly stay on the equation where we solved it and just go step by step over it all over again. The next question. Three successive discounts of 10%, 25%, and 30% on the marked price of an item are equivalent to a single discount of 56.1%, 43.9%, 70%, or 50.2%. If I have a product of say 100 rupees, first I give 10% discount, then I give 25% discount, then I give 35% discount. What is the cumulative or the total percentage of discount going to be for this? Just like the previous question, I want you to pause the video, solve the question by yourself, and then play again to see the steps we use to solve this question. Okay, so we start by assuming the primary price to be rupees 100. Then 10% discount on 100 is 100 minus 10% of 100, which is 100 minus 10 will give you rupees 90. 25% discount of rupees 90 is 90 minus 25% of 90, which is 90 minus 22.5. That will give you rupees 67.5. Then 35% discount on rupees 67.5 will give you 67.5 minus 23.6, which is 43.9. Now do not worry that there is no 43.9 in the options. The primary price now is 43.9. They are asking you what the cumulative discount is going to be. So the total discount now is 100 minus 43.9, which is 56.1. Hence, option 1 becomes the correct answer. I hope you have followed the steps that I showed you to arrive at the correct answer. The next question on mathematical reasoning is, a car travels from city A to city B with a constant speed. If the speed of the car is increased by 20 km per hour, it will reach destination 1 hour earlier. On the other hand, if its speed decreases by 20 km per hour, it reaches 2 hours later than scheduled time. What is the usual time if it travels with routine speed? Is it 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, or 10 hours? Okay, like we saw the previous question, pause the video, solve it yourself, and then come back to see what the correct steps are and the correct answer is. Okay, city A to city B at constant speed of m will take x hours. The speed is increased by 20. It will reach 1 hour early. So it is x minus 1 hour is the duration. The speed decreases by 20 km per hour. It reaches 2 hours later, which is x plus 2. So the first three statements here are given in the question. It is always important to put down in the equation form what is given in the question. And our aim is to find the value of x. Alright, so mx, the speed and time, is equal to m plus 20 x minus 1. And here you can find one value of m, and then you put the next part of the initial data. Mx, which is speed into time, is equal to m minus 20 x plus 2. And here you get another value for m. M is the common term in these two equations. You solve 20x minus 20 is equal to 10x plus 20. And once you solve this, you will arrive at x being 4. So the correct answer is option 2, 4 hours. So I hope you understood how we could solve each of these maths questions by putting down an equation and solving it step by step. The next question on mathematical reasoning is, the present ages of 3 persons are in the proportion 4 is to 5 is to 7. 7 years ago, the sum of their ages was 59 years. The present age of the youngest of them is what? Is it 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, or 35 years? Okay, pause the video and solve it for yourself and then come back to look at the correct answer. So the present ages are in the ratio of 4 is to 5 is to 7. So when we put it in the equation form, it will be 4x is to 5x is to 7x. 7 years ago, of course, their ages will be 4x minus 7, 5x minus 7, and 7x minus 7. The sum of all these will be 59. If you solve this equation, you will get 16x minus 21 as 59. So 16x becomes 80 and x becomes 5. Do not stop here. So the present ages become 4 into 5 or 5 into 5 and 7 into 5, which is 20 is to 25 is to 35. So the present age of the youngest one is 20 years, and hence the correct answer is option 2, which is 20 years. The next question is, in a certain coding language, if the word PRIVE, drive, is coded as GOLSH, then the word coins, COINS, will be coded as what? Okay, is it FKKOU or EKLTV or FLLKB or ELKPU? Okay, so I want you to pause the video, try and solve and arrive at one answer, and then come back and play the video to see what the correct answer could be. Okay, so try and see what kind of logic fits the four options given here. Yes, the correct answer is option 3, which is FLLKV. First, third, and the fifth letters are substituted as three letters after them, and the second and fourth are represented by three letters before them. That's how D becomes G, R becomes O, I becomes L, V becomes S, and P becomes H. In the same logic, you will find FLLKV. Now, if you tried doing direct substitution also, right? Drive and point both have the third letter as I. Okay, so you can come to the conclusion that the third letter in the answer is also going to be L. In that way, you would have eliminated option 1 and option 4. But you are still stuck at option 2 and 3. And even in that logic, if D is G, right? So C could be one letter before G, which is F. In that way, you would eliminate option 2 because it starts with E and be very confident with option 3. So you could try direct substitution also, but the actual logic here is the plus 3 minus 3 substitution. The next question is very mathematical. If L to the base M represents a number L in base M number system, then identify the correct ascending order of the following numbers A to D when converted to decimal number system. The four numbers are 333.2 to the base 4, 11111.11 to the base 2, 77.2 to the base 8, 3F.6 to the base 16. So the first option is BBAC, second is CDAB, third is ADBC, fourth is CDBA. Okay, so if you have some idea of what a base M number system is, I want you to start by figuring out the whole numbers first and then looking at the decimals. That will help you to arrive at the answer quickly. And if this question seems out of your way, if you feel that it's too mathematical and I don't know how I will solve it, leave this question till the end, solve all the other questions and then come back to it. So let's see what the steps are and what the correct answer is. If you solve the bases, you'll figure out that all the four bases are 63. Right? Whether it's 4 power 3, 2 power 6, 8 power 2 or 16 power 4, they are all 63. So the difference actually lies in only the decimal digits. So 0.2 to the base 4 is 0.5, 0.11 to the base 2 is 0.75, 0.2 to the base 8 is 0.25, and 0.6 to the base 16 is 0.375. And in that order, you can arrange C, D, A, B. Right? So option 2 of C, D, A, B becomes the correct answer. With that, we come to the end of first 5 units of questions that appeared in the December 2025 home science paper in UGC NET. If you want me to solve paper 1 questions from other question papers, do let me know in the comments below. And also share with us how many questions you got right today. If you found this video helpful, do like and share it with your friends and colleagues who might also be preparing for UGC NET. Subscribe to Scholars Mentor for more such videos.